The biggest win of the night for the Red Sox on a night when they were eliminated from postseason contention officially was holding Aaron Judge homerless in the Yankees' eventual 5-4 walk-off win in 10 innings on Thursday night.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. That is BetOnline, where the game starts. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. I am your host, NESN's Lauren Willand. Still flying solo. Jake will be back next week, and we'll probably have a lot to talk about from this Yankee series that is ongoing. But for today, we're going to talk about Thursday's loss. And even though it was kind of an uninspiring game, there's still, I guess, were some positive things to take away from it. The Red Sox, as I said, were officially eliminated from postseason contention. So now we officially are on to 2023. There's no more of this. There's still a slim chance. No, they're done. They are done for 2022. But there still is stuff to break down from Thursday's game. We are going to talk about that, recap the loss and kind of what went wrong throughout it. And we know it was Ryan Brazier not hitting with runners with the bases loaded, tale as old as time, blah, blah, blah. We've done this so many times this season. We also discussed Trevor Story and his injury. And even though he was placed on the IL and it probably would make the most sense to shut him down, he is not ruling that out. He seems to think otherwise there. Also, and this should make Red Sox fans very happy, we will dive into Alex Cora's recent comments on a podcast about how the Red Sox are prepared to bring Xander Bogaerts back next season. So that should give fans a little bit of optimism, hopefully, to look forward to 2023 and to just kind of put this no good, no fun season behind us. But as we all know, and unless you've been living under a rock, but you know that Aaron Judge is chasing history. He's probably going to make history against the Red Sox. He is sitting 1 home run shy away of tying the AL home run record and 2 away from breaking it. He did go homerless on Thursday, though. He went over 2 with 3 walks on the night. And Yankee Stadium is very, very loud. There was no intentional walks given up to him. They were 4-pitch walks or 4-ball walks. They weren't all 4-pitch walks, but Yankee Stadium was not happy, and understandably so. You are there to hopefully watch one of your players tie history, make history, and just be there for this rivalry as well. So he unfortunately did not, or fortunately for Red Sox and their fans, did not hit a home run, unfortunately for Yankees fans and, of course, Aaron Judge. But if you were watching the game Thursday on Fox, and in the 9th inning, you probably thought his fly out to center field was a home run. It was a 4-4 game in the 9th. Matt Barnes on the mound, Aaron Judge at the plate. Could not script this better, right? He's going to hit a home run to walk the game off, right? Well, you probably would have thought that if you were listening to the broadcast. The broadcast team was super enthusiastic and made it seem like the ball was gone. The camera work certainly didn't help either because it looked like this ball was hit all the way to the moon and beyond, but it was caught by Kike Hernandez. But the Yankees ended up getting the last laugh in the 10th because Josh Donaldson had the walk-off hit to officially clinch the postseason berth and to officially eliminate the Red Sox from postseason contention. As we've seen so many times this season, the Red Sox did have a lead at some point in this game, but the bullpen and the offense just could not help put this game away. Boston was fairly clean on the mound throughout the game, throughout really the 9 innings. Michael Wacha, John Schreiber, Matt Barnes, they pitched very well. There were a few mistakes from Wacha. The Yankees did score 3 runs. Ryan Brazier, stop me if you are shocked. Pretend to be shocked if you want to. Ryan Brazier had an iffy outing and allowed the Yankees to tie the game in the 8th inning. But those first 9 innings going into the 10th were fairly clean. And I don't think there's a lot to really kind of nitpick, minus Ryan Brazier. But much like the Red Sox have had to do so many times this season, they were forced to lean on a rookie pitcher to keep them in the game, and that job went to Caleb Ort on Thursday. And unfortunately for Ort, he was not able to get the job done. He is the one who gave up the walk-off hit to Josh Donaldson, and the game-winning run crossed the plate in the 10th inning. Everyone at Yankee Stadium, probably everyone at Yankee Stadium, went home happy. But for a game that was rather uninspiring, Reese McGuire really continued to prove and provide reasons for optimism for the Red Sox for the future, for 2023. And when he came over, and I wasn't quite sure how he would fit into this team. Now, I wasn't too mad with the trade itself, but when you come in and you replace somebody like Christian Vasquez, there's going to be a ton of eyes on you. And he has, I think he's exceeded expectations. He came off the bench in the 7th inning to pinch hit for Connor Wong, and he hit a 3-run home run. He gave the Red Sox the lead in the 7th inning. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. And a reporter after the game mentioned to Cora that McGuire just really seems to be kind of quote unquote killing everyone or killing the Yankees when he plays against them, kind of like Rafael Devers does. But Cora was like, not just the Yankees, he's killing everyone. So he's really, really fit in with this team. He calls a good game. He obviously can come up in big situations against a really tough team. Like I mentioned on Thursday, the Red Sox are not fighting for anything at this point. They're really not fighting for anything now. But you still could have kept the Yankees out of postseason contention for one more day. But now it's just a matter of trying to maybe not allow them to clinch the AL East. I believe the magic number going into Friday night's game is 6 for the Yankees. But Reese McGuire has just been wonderful, a wonderful addition to this Red Sox team. I do have a lot of faith in him going into 2023, much more than I had when first was traded to Boston. And I'll admit, I was not thrilled with it. But I'm happy to be wrong on this because he's been really great for this team. He's provided some sort of spark and some sort of bright light and optimism in the second half of the season when there hasn't been a whole lot of optimism in the second half since the trade deadline. It's just been kind of ugly for the Red Sox really since the end of June. Trevor Story also was placed on the IL on Thursday, and I think it would make sense to shut him down. He's kind of had a weird season with the Red Sox, his first in Boston. He had the wrist injury. He wasn't able to really find his stride in the first few months of the season. He was booed by Red Sox fans. So I was like, it just makes sense to shut him down. He's dealing with the heel contusion. Your feet are obviously a very big part in the game of baseball, and just shut him down, get him 110% ready for 2023. But nope, Trevor Story is not about that. He said that if he's able to play and he thinks he can, then he will play. He said that's how he's always attacked the game. He knows how special it is. And if he's able to get out there, he certainly can. But there is one problem with that. He did tell reporters that right now he's unable to run without pain, but he can do other baseball activities. If he can't run now with 2 weeks left in the regular season, just rest the rest of the way. I know he wants to come back. I know this game means a lot to him. This game means a lot to every professional ball player. But I just think it's smart for him to shut it down the rest of the way. Don't risk further injury. Don't risk kind of maybe lingering this injury further. Just let's be ready for 2023. Let's put the bow on 2022 and just go to 2023. But if he did play his last game this season, he will finish with a 238 average, 16 home runs, and 66 RBI. I know at one point he missed like a month with his wrist injury, or just over a month, and he was the second on the team in home runs, even missing all that time. So that kind of speaks to just how the offense just has not been good this season, but it also speaks to Trevor Story maybe being better than meets the eye. And I think that it's a first year in a uniform. I'm not expecting this massive all-star season from him, but I do expect a lot more in 2023. And I think Story also expects a lot more from him in 2023. Some other things we expect a lot from are the Red Sox this offseason, the main thing being Xander Bogaerts. We have talked about this the offseason. This is going to be the hottest topic, not just with the Red Sox, but in a lot of baseball and the American League. Alex Cora joined the Off the Pike podcast and, of course, was asked about Bogaerts and his status with the Red Sox, kind of where that stands. We will talk about all of that in the second segment of our Locked On Red Sox podcast after I tell you about BetOnline, because betonline.net is your number one source and continues to be your number one source for football betting this season. Find all the latest player developments, team matchup news, podcasts, and in-depth articles and analysis on every game you can find. As always, BetOnline remains your continued source for all of your sport wagering information, with live betting and up to the minute scores for every single sport out there. The fastest and easiest way to check in on all of your favorite games and events, including MLB, MMA, boxing, and golf, that's right, betonline.net. Head to betonline.net right now or use your mobile device to learn more. That's BetOnline, where the game starts. So you can check out BetOnline to see what the odds are for Aaron Judge hitting that home run. Maybe you're feeling lucky, put a little bit of money down, win a lot more in return. That's betonline.net. So Xander Bogaerts probably will opt out of his deal in the offseason, and understandably so. He is due for a pay raise. After this season, he will have 3 years, $60 million remaining. And like I said, he's probably going to opt out of that contract. He has hinted toward that as well, and he certainly deserves to test the free agent market. There's no reason that he shouldn't. Well, there's plenty of reason he shouldn't, and that reason is the Red Sox should sign him to a long-term deal. He is somebody who you just keep around. He's somebody you build around. We've said this time and time again. He is a leader on this team. Fans call him the unofficial captain. People respect him. People go to him. He's been in this organization for so long. He's not someone you want to let go. And Red Sox fans understandably have a lot of reservations about this. We saw them trade Mookie Betts. We saw them trade John Lester. We've seen them lowball these guys, and they end up walking away. So understandably, Red Sox fans are very nervous about the possibility of losing Bogaerts to the Dodgers, to any other team, to the Yankees, to just anyone who isn't the Red Sox. And Chaim Bloom in the front office, they've said all the right things. There's no denying that they've said the correct things when it comes to Bogaerts. You can say the right things all you want. We all know actions speak louder than words. Your actions need to back up what you say. And if for whatever reason they cannot sign Bogaerts in the offseason, I am so ready for all the old takes exposed, for all the people going and finding the comments from Bloom, from Sam Kennedy, from everyone else about, yes, the Red Sox want to sign Bogaerts. It's front of our mind. It's our top priority. But somebody who we know is close to Bogaerts is Alex Cora. And as far as we know, the Red Sox have said that Bloom and Cora will come back next year. I have no reason to believe otherwise, but obviously Cora does not sign the players. I'm sure he talks to Bloom and talks to the front office and says, this is a guy that we 100% need on this team. And Cora and Bogaerts are very, very close. So Cora joined the Off the Pike podcast with Brian Barrett. Of course, he was asked about Xander Bogaerts. What else are they going to talk about after all? What else are they going to talk about at the end of the day, right? And Cora did have some very positive comments. And here's what he said. He said, quote, I do believe going into whatever situation comes up in the upcoming weeks or months, whatever, we're going to be prepared to bring Xander back. Obviously, it takes two. Like I've always said, the ball's in his court right now. He's the one that has to decide whether he's going to opt in or opt out, right? And we know about his agent. I have a great relationship with Scott Boras, and we'll see what happens. Bogaerts is a guy we really respect. This is a guy we really like. He's a winner. And people can talk about whatever, his defense, and he hasn't been like Francisco Lindor or Carlos Correa. But I always said, in the wild card game, hitting fourth, I want Xander Bogaerts or hitting third, end quote. I think Cora hit it on the head. Yes, at the end of the day, the first part of this decision is in Bogaerts' court. He has to opt in or opt out. Let's play he's going to opt out because we know that's going to happen. I will be so shocked if he doesn't, but I think he absolutely should opt out and get that pay raise he deserves. Are there better defensive shortstops out there than Bogaerts? Yes, but Bogaerts is somebody you 100% need to build your team around. And I already told you why. He's respected. The players like him. He's an unofficial captain here. The city of Boston may very well burn to the ground if he does not re-sign with the Red Sox. We all know how Scott Boras operates as well. He gets the most out of his players, and that's his job as their agent. Is he difficult? Yes, but he's trying to get his clients paid and in turn get himself paid. But once Bogaerts makes the move, when he opts out, likely, it is in the Red Sox court to do everything in their power to make sure he does not sign anywhere else. They are telling him, okay, you can opt out, no problem. Here's what we're going to offer you. Here's what we're going to do to make sure you re-sign with us. Hopefully it works. I do have a lot of faith, and maybe that's blind faith. Maybe it's just me being an optimist, that the Red Sox will get things done with Bogaerts. I think a lot of this too is, the Lester situation, the Mookie situation. Yes, Bloom wasn't here for Lester. Yes, the whole Mookie thing was happening before Bloom was officially hired, and that was his first big move with the Red Sox organization, but that was happening whether that was Bloom in the front office, Dombrowski. I was going to say Theo, but we all know that wouldn't have happened if Theo was here. Regardless, Bogaerts has to make the first move. And then it's up to the Red Sox to make sure they do their job and sign Bogaerts to that long-term deal. You have money coming off the books. JD Martinez, Nate Eovaldi. You have these guys who you're probably not going to re-sign. If I had to put money on one of them, I'd say they bring back Martinez over Eovaldi. But the first thing the Red Sox need to do this offseason is sign Xander Bogaerts. I don't want to hear anything unless it's some amazing, reliable bullpen arm. I do not want to hear any Red Sox offseason signing news unless it's Xander Bogaerts first. Once he signs, go crazy. Do whatever the hell you want. But make sure, if you say Bogaerts is your priority, if Bogaerts is the front of your mind, make sure you back up your words with the appropriate actions. Red Sox fans have been through this time and time again, and it dates way back before John Lester. It dates way back before Dave Dombrowski. This is not new for Red Sox fans, young and old. They see what they want in Bogaerts. They see what they like in Bogaerts. Okay, then keep him. Keep him. Sign him to that long-term deal. You're saying all the right things. Now do it. And hopefully they do, because I want this offseason to be a positive one. I want this to be a good one. And I want to bring you good news, especially when it comes to Bogaerts. But we do have one more segment of the Locked On Red Sox podcast. As always, we're going to end this show with our mental health minute. So it is Friday. Yay. And that doesn't mean a whole lot to me because I do work on the weekends. I work Saturdays, but it's always a good time for me to just kind of unwind, reflect on the week that was, and put myself in a good mindset for the week ahead. Now, yes, some of that does depend on what the Red Sox do, but the Bruins do play their first preseason game on Saturday, so find me on my couch enjoying a Saturday night with my dog and the Boston Bruins. I'm excited to see some of the young guys play. Fabian Lysell, I'm dying to see if he can kind of either crack the roster this year or give the Bruins something to think about if they send him right to Providence. But I'm really excited. The weather looks great for the weekend, and I'm just excited to just kind of unwind, like I said, reflect, get the house back in order. It's a bit messy after this week, but it's a good time for me to reflect. If you have to work this weekend, I am sorry, but I also feel you. Like I said, I do work weekends as well. But take some time to look back on the week, maybe your highest points of the week, and write down your 3 best parts of the week so you can go into the weekend with a happy mindset. And on Sunday night or Monday night, whenever your unofficial/official weekend ends, make sure you're going into it with a happy, healthy mindset. And that is making sure you are taking care of yourself mentally, do whatever you have to do. And like I said, I'm going to reflect on some crappy things that happened this week and make sure that I don't bring that energy into next week, because this is about to be a busy season. Even with the Red Sox season winding down, I need to go into it with a ton of clarity. Thank you for making Locked On Red Sox your first listen of every single day. Rate, review, and subscribe to Locked On Red Sox right here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast is where you can find us. Find us on Twitter at LO_Red Sox, Jake at Jake Iggy. He makes his return to the show on Monday. And me, Lauren, 3 Laws, Lauren with 4 R's. Be sure to check out all the other Locked On shows across the network. Locked On Yankees, Locked On Astros. Everyone does such a great job here at Locked On, bringing you baseball content Monday through Friday. And now that you've made Locked On Red Sox your first listen, head on over to Locked On MLB to make it listen number 2 of your day. Paul Francis Sullivan, just call him Sully, brings you his unique perspective, using insight, using knowledge, using humor of major leaguers, both past and present. It is a must listen. You can find it for free on YouTube, right here on YouTube, on the Odyssey app. Wherever you get your podcast is where you can find Sully and Locked On MLB. Have a great weekend. We will be back on Monday. Who knows? Maybe I'll even be back Saturday or Sunday. Give you guys a bonus episode. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Red Sox Yankees series as best you can, and we will see you Monday. And as always, let's go Red Sox.